Hi guys, we're here at the Vodafone campus in Düsseldorf. I'm sitting with 3 developers from Vodafone Germany, and we're going to talk about what it's like to work as a developer at Vodafone in Germany. So maybe you can just introduce yourself very briefly. What's your name, where are you from, and what exactly are you doing at Vodafone?
Sure. My name is Jennifer. I'm originally from Guatemala. I've been in Germany for 6 years and at Vodafone for 4 months, and I'm a front-end developer in a delivery team.
Hello, my name is Philippos. I come from Greece. I'm working here as a front-end developer at Vodafone for 6 months now.
Hi, I'm Silvia. I'm from Germany and I'm working at Vodafone since 3 months, and I'm a front-end developer since about, I think, 15 to 20 years.
What I'd like to hear from you is, can you talk a little bit about the projects that you're working on right now, and what's particularly exciting about these projects?
So I'm at the end of a very cool project that we had last week, which was the new iPhone launch. That was pretty cool to be part of the team that launched the new Apple devices on the website. And right now we're just handling some leftovers from that project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm, let's say, part of the promo team. We launch every couple of months new promos and give the opportunity to new customers, consumers to just take our new tariffs and devices.
I'm working right now on the consumer chat that is helping the customers when they have questions about the tariffs or about the phones. They can just type their questions and get them answered immediately by a chat agent.
What was the reason you joined Vodafone, and what do you particularly enjoy about working here? So feel free to give examples if you have some.
The food. I'm kidding. Yeah, Vodafone is a really cool company. You might think that because it's kind of old school in the way of the business, it must be old school working here, but it's totally the contrary. In my experience, people have been really open and very welcoming, especially as a foreigner. Yeah, and I'm part of an agile team, so that means that we do things fast and changes happen very fast. And it's really cool to see how like an old school kind of or traditional company is growing more into becoming a more agile company. So that transition is really nice to see, and that's why I was interested in working in Vodafone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much the same. So Vodafone at the moment is evolving, so we have this agile environment working, the Scrum teams, everything. So everyday tasks like communicating with demand managers, BAs, the whole process is very exciting to be here, and also delivering product to millions of visitors every day. So that's one of the best reasons to be here.
For me, it was a great offer that I got from Vodafone. The food, and that is no joke, because it's very good. I like the whole environment we have here at the campus. And also, Vodafone is a big company, it's a known company, it's international. We have many cultures working here, and that is very interesting for me. I like that very much.
Tell us about the food, because everyone's talking about the food, so what's the secret here?
So we are actually sitting in part of the canteen, and the canteen is pretty big. You can't really tell, but I don't know how long it is really. And we have different restaurants every day providing different options, from anything really traditional German food to vegetarian, salads, and the price is very reasonable, so we get a really good price as employees. Yeah.
Nice. Can you tell us a bit about working, or can you tell us a little bit about your experiences in the past before Vodafone? How were the recruiting processes of the companies that you applied for? Did you apply for companies? Did they come to you? And how was the whole recruiting process from your experience? Did you enjoy it? Was there stuff where you feel they could have done a better job?
From previous companies, you mean?
Previous companies, yeah.
That's a very good question.
In general, when companies are approaching you or have approached you in the past, what were your experiences with recruiters?
For me personally, actually the recruiting process changed a bit in the past 2 years because I am a brand new developer, so to speak. So before I was applying for different kinds of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since I've grown into a developer, recruiting has been a lot easier, I must say. Yes, and of course people and companies approach me personally now. And to be honest, the only experience I've had with recruitment so far is with Vodafone. and I'm here, so I'm happy.
So you recently became a developer?
That's correct.
Can you tell us about this? Why and how did that happen?
Well, I've always been interested in technology ever since I was a kid. Originally, I'm from Guatemala, like I mentioned, and computer science was very traditional back in the 90s. When you thought of computer science, you would think, oh, I'm going to definitely be a, no offense, right, but like a geek working in super old systems and hardware and stuff. And of course, that has evolved throughout the years. And I've been very excited to see this change, and I wanted to be part of it. And so I studied to become a developer.
Okay.
And I'm very happy with the decision.
And how regularly have you been approached by recruiters since that happened?
Well, maybe twice a week or so, yeah, through different networks. I don't check it, honestly, at all now, so I have them muted, so
you just, like on LinkedIn, for example, is that where they approach you?
Yeah, mainly, or Xing, which is a German one as well.
And do you log on at all? Do you register, or do you?
I do not log on anymore, no.
Okay. So if you would, you'd probably find 30, 40,
maybe.
or 100 messages.
1,000, no, yeah. Maybe 30, 40 is realistic, yes, yeah.
Okay. And does it annoy you when this happens?
Well, it depends. Last time there was a recruiter that was very personal, and she was one of the few that received a reply from me, just to let her know that I'm not interested in a position. And if it's a general message, I rarely read it. It sounds very like snobbish, but it's the truth, actually.
So there's just too much to handle, basically.
At times, yeah.
What are your experiences with recruiters?
Actually, this is my second job here in Germany, and I must say that for 6 months I was applying to many, let's say, positions. I contacted many recruiters through their companies, for example, but also through LinkedIn. Created a profile and showed some of my experience there. The process with Vodafone was a little bit, let's say, with a recruiter not from the company, so not directly from the HR, but coming from an external recruiter, like is done mostly here. The funny thing is that most of the recruiters, as Jen said, it's a new process for them, and the technologies are evolving also, so you need to also somehow tell them what are your experiences and explain them the differences from Java and JavaScript and things like that. It's funny in the process, but after a while, let's say I have also some good friends from recruiters, and the process is pretty straightforward. Just make your target. I want to be this from the developer, and if you contact the right person, then you definitely get the job.
So you have also made the experience that recruiters who approached you didn't really understand the technologies that they're talking about,
yes.
right?
I also had, let's say, some mini workshops defining some of the technologies to them and letting them know that, for example, this is something different. Please do not use it like this. Yes, it was, let's say, a nice effort. But after a while, they started providing more, let's say, jobs fitting my experience. So it helped me also myself. Okay. Yes.
How regularly do you get approached on LinkedIn and on Xing and networks like these?
I'm a lot of active in LinkedIn, and I get like 10
You're not active?
I'm active, meaning that I have like 10 or 20 messages per week.
10 or 20 per week?
Yeah, because I like to, let's say, help recruiters provide some details, job details to my network there. So it's nice to have also to find some spots here for Vodafone. So I'm, yes, using a lot LinkedIn.
Okay. And what's your experience with recruiting?
For me, it's a bit different because I was self-employed for almost 8 years before starting at Vodafone. And actually, Jen put me in contact with the Vodafone recruitment, and so got me the job somehow. I had, when I was self-employed, I think several requests per day from recruiters and through my network of development colleagues and advertisement agencies. So I still get lots of requests, not per day, but per week. Sometimes I reply, sometimes I don't, especially when they greet me with sehr geehrter Herr Uhlenberg, then I don't reply. because that's just assuming that every developer has to be male somehow. I don't know why.
For the question for all of you, what matters to you most coming from your employer? So what are the things that are particularly important if you were looking for a job right now? Is it salary? Is it flexible working? Is it remote working? Is it the types of colleagues you have? So what are the most important things that an employer should offer you in order to be attractive as an employer?
Can I say all of the above? For sure, salary influences, but not everything is about money, right? So I think colleagues make a huge difference for me personally, to have that environment that you can be open with your colleagues, and if you have a lot of questions, that there's people that help you in an honest and friendly way. I think that's sometimes invaluable. And at Vodafone, I have found these colleagues that are super open to helping me out when I am stuck with stuff that I don't understand, because it's a very complex system. As well, working remotely is very attractive because it's cool to stay home a couple of days and be able to work from there. But I personally don't need to do that all the time. I need human and social interaction. And food, yeah, kidding, yeah, but it's true, yeah, food is also very important. Yeah, no, the social aspect of it for me personally as well.
What about you?
Yes, I would say all the above, and also one not mentioned is the work-life balance. So I have a family and I need to be able to have some remote home office, for example, flexible. Sometimes I need to be able to leave earlier in a day, or for example, my kid is sick, then I can just stay at home. So, of course, when accepting a job, is always the manager should be there, and you see the manager, you see the chemistry and the connection, the communication, how it's done. So for me, it's very important. This is why I also accepted the job here at Vodafone. Yes.
So work-life balance was a major factor for you. Yes. And what does work-life balance mean besides having flexible working hours?
So, as I said, the home office is one of this thing, but I can imagine this also flexible, but the flexible timing we can actually be here at 6 o'clock in the morning, do our stuff, and then we can be there early for our families. Or when, for example, as I mentioned, if someone sick at home, then you can just say, okay, I have this issue, so I can work from home, deliver my stuff, everything, so keep on working.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, for me it's also the same. The other said it's of course about the salary, because nobody of us can pay their apartments and flats and cars and whatnot without money. But also the thing called Gleitzeitkonto, which I never had as a self-employed person. I was working my ass off. I had no weekends. I had no evenings sometimes. I had no paid holidays. I enjoyed self-employment very much, but right now I am really enjoying this flexibility Vodafone offers me with the Gleitzeit and the flexible working hours and the home office, which I don't have as still in probation being, but I will have it, and I can have it right now if I have some emergencies at home.
One last question. How would you describe the culture here? So what is it about the culture of Vodafone that you find particularly appealing?
Good question. I don't want to be redundant, but like I said already, my coworkers. So I was working also, I had several experiences with other German companies, and they're also very nice colleagues and open. But I just find that here there's something different, that they're even more open than usual. And I enjoy that very much. Additional to that, for example, when I first started, 2 months or 3 months later, the head of digital just made a coffee appointment with me to just chat and see how things were going. So even though we're over 5,000 people in the campus, it's crazy to know that you can still reach higher management super easy. So that lack of super traditional hierarchy is very attractive for me as well. And it's just exciting. Like Filippo has mentioned, we're doing that transition between traditional like project management into agile, and that whole process is very exciting to experience.
Yes.
What about you? What do you like about the culture at Vodafone?
I will just give an example. For example, inside our Scrum teams, we have people coming from 5 different continents, from Egypt, Greece, Guatemala, so it's multicultural already. And I want to mention that we have a multi-culti party this week to just join and be more relaxed there, get to know each other better, and makes us a better culture inside our teams. Yeah, we define our cultures here.
What do you like about Vodafone's culture here?
Yeah, it's basically the same the others said, and I already said before, it's the many cultures we have here, the things we can learn about those cultures, and also that the company cares about its employees. We have one-on-ones every week. They ask about our opinions. We can give criticism that is considered, and things are put into motion. We experience the transition into agile working right now, as Jen said. So we have many possibilities to create our workspace.
Thank you. Cool. Thanks very much.